So find a cozy spot for your dough and let it do its thing. All right, our dough has beautifully doubled in size. Look at that. Now gently punch it down to release the air. Turn it out onto a lightly floured surface. We don't want to add too much extra flour, just enough to prevent sticking. Roll out the dough until it's about ½ inch thick. This thickness is important. If it's too thin, your donuts won't be fluffy, and if it's too thick, they might not cook all the way through. Now for the fun part, cutting the donuts. I am using a 3-inch round cutter for the main shape and a 1-inch cutter for the center hole. If you don't have donut cutters, no problem. You can use a glass and a bottle cap. Press firmly to get clean cuts. Place your cut-out donuts and the donut holes onto a parchment-lined baking sheet. Don't throw away those donut holes. They make the most delicious little snacks. Once all your donuts are cut, they need a second proof. This step is essential for that final poof of airiness. Cover them loosely with a kitchen towel and let them rest again in a warm place for another 30 to 45 minutes. They should look visibly puffed up and feel light and delicate. While they're proofing, it's the perfect time to get our frying station ready. Pour your oil into a heavy-bottomed pot or a Dutch oven. You'll want the oil to be about 2 to 3 inches deep. Attach a candy thermometer to the side of the pot and heat the oil over medium heat. The ideal temperature for frying donuts is between 350 and 360 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 175 degrees. But the final, most crucial step is all about scent. Salmon have an incredibly sensitive sense of smell, thousands of times more powerful than ours. Each river and stream has a unique chemical signature, a cocktail of minerals, decaying vegetation, and local soil. A young salmon essentially imprints on the specific smell of its home stream before it ever leaves for the ocean. Years later, as they approach the coastline, they swim back and forth, sniffing the water, searching for that one familiar scent plume carried by the currents. When they find it, they lock on and begin the final, most arduous leg of their journey, the upstream battle. And this is where the title struggle against the current becomes a stark reality. They are no longer drifting with the flow. They are fighting it every inch of the way. Every muscle, every ounce of stored energy is used to push against the relentless force of the river. It's like running a marathon, but the finish line keeps moving away, and the track is full of obstacles. One of the most iconic images of the salmon run is the leap. We've all seen the footage, powerful fish launching themselves out of the water, attempting to clear waterfalls and rapids. It's a spectacular display of raw power and determination. They can leap up to 12 feet in the air, but for every successful jump, there are countless failed attempts. They get battered against the rocks, swept back by the torrent, and have to try again and again, all while their energy reserves are dwindling. And the current isn't their only enemy. The river is a buffet for predators, waiting at the base of waterfalls, and in the shallows are bears, eagles, and other animals who depend on this seasonal bounty. Brown and black bears in particular are expert salmon fishers. They'll stand in the river for hours, snatching exhausted fish right out of the water. It's a brutal, yet essential part of the ecosystem. The salmon's sacrifice feeds the forest. For the salmon that manage to evade the predators and conquer the rapids, the journey is still far from over. They may face man-made obstacles like dams and culverts, which can be impassable barriers. Fish ladders have been built to help, but they are a poor substitute for a free-flowing river. Pollution and low water levels can also turn a difficult journey into an impossible one. Against all these odds, some make it. Exhausted, battered, and often wounded, they arrive at the spawning grounds, the very same gravel beds where they were born. Here the final chapter unfolds. The female uses her tail to dig a nest in the gravel called a red as she releases her eggs. A male who has been fighting off competitors moves in beside her and fertilizes them. This ritual may be repeated several times until the female has deposited all her eggs, sometimes thousands of them. And with their mission accomplished, their life's purpose fulfilled, their journey ends, their bodies completely spent, give out. They die, usually within a few days of spawning. But their death is not the end of the story. It's a vital beginning. Their decomposing bodies release crucial marine-derived nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus back into the freshwater ecosystem. These